you guys for coming.
I know plenty fans, I know plenty fiends. Bitch, I'm chasing goals, I ain't chasing dreams. A lot of people stuck in the place they never seen. It's a cold world, best friends turn to enemies. People come, people go, a lot of memories. Ain't no second chances, bitch, this ain't Jeopardy. The hug on my back, cause they know I got the recipe.
What's up, guys? Here for Pilar Talk. Coach?
It's good to be back. I missed last week, so I'm excited to be back on Pilar Talk.
You did, didn't you? I forgot I did that show on my own.
By yourself with with Miguel and Delano.
That was a good episode.
Yep, I was sad that I had to miss, but I'm pumped to be back.
Coach is a slacker, you know how
My podcasting, man, I gotta get back in the flow. This is a good episode to get back in the swing.
I want to let everybody know before we get started, though, we are going to be taking a break soon. Within the next episode or two, we're going to take a couple-month break for football, and then we'll be back. So that way we're not stressing and Coach isn't stressed out. And
yeah, football season is rough. But this is a good episode to kind of end things on a good note.
So next week's Kaylani. So that was going to be my next thing.
Okay.
We can do Kaylani, and then we'll be done. Kaylani's former Miss America.
Yep, from Monroe.
1987
Oh, wow.
Miss America.
Yep.
Dang. I
She
got
does a lot
competition
like
now.
It's pretty awesome. But we're here with Andi Joe.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Thank you guys for having me.
Yep.
Happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, because nobody knows as far as like these guys over here. So,
Well, my name is Andi Joe Taylor. I am an up-and-coming country music singer. I'm also an actress. And apparently I'm a pillar of the community because you guys got me on Pilar Talk.
boom.
Right. Absolutely. So where are you from?
I'm from Toledo, 419.
Okay, from so I was born in Monroe, but I went to Erie Mason, but I actually lived in Toledo. I grew up in Toledo for like, I don't know, a handful of years when I was a kid, and then I moved back there a couple times. So I've spent probably 10 years I've been here for 31 years now, so probably 10 12 years in Toledo. So
Okay, so the both of y'all are pretty familiar with 419 then.
yeah, absolutely.
And apparently people are familiar with you because Lucas says he loves you and you're the best singer in Toledo.
Oh, Lucas.
That's awesome.
What's up?
Yeah.
See, and you said that people weren't going to know who I was.
Yeah,
Now
I
here we
know,
are.
right? I'm always wrong. So
So my question is just kind of go off of what you just said. What got you into country music? Why country music?
Well, let's start from the beginning. So
Perfect.
I started singing. I tell people that I didn't just come out crying. I think I came out singing. So when I was a little girl, I used to take the broomstick and I would put on performances in the living room and make my family watch me. So I always had it in me that I wanted to be a performer, a singer. And then when I was 7 or 8, I started taking vocal lessons. And my mom, she heard me singing in the shower one day and she said, "Oh, maybe we should put you in lessons." And so I did that up until COVID. And my vocal coach used to put on recitals for us. So I performed. My first recital was at Manhattan's downtown.
Okay.
And the rest of them were at the Dirty Bird downtown,
Okay.
which I wish that they had their entertainment license still so I could perform there and make it full circle. But I'm actually working on getting into Manhattan's. So that will be full circle to perform there again. I performed at an open mic night a couple months back in Manhattan's, and it was really cool just to go back there and all those memories of having the recitals there. And then throughout high school, I was in cheer, I was captain of the cheer team. I was in dance, theater, choir. And I think all of that got me prepared for everything I'm doing today. And when I was 14, I did a Queen medley in choir, and my dad was working. He wasn't able to go, but my mom took video and she sent it to my dad. And my dad said, "Is she different, or am I just, proud dad, proud parent?" And my parents sat me down and they said, "Hey, we think that you're different. We think that if this is something that you want to do for the rest of your life, we will back you 100% of the way." And little 14-year-old me, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I get to be a singer for the rest of my life. Count me in."
Right.
And why country? Circling back to that, I grew up listening to Justin Bieber. I was a huge believer. My birthday cakes from 7 years old to 10 years old, they had Justin Bieber's face on it. It's totally fine. There's picture proof, and I'm trying to force my mom to, one day she's gonna have to make all of her accounts private because my digital footprint is just insane. People are gonna be like, this girl,
too much to erase.
Yeah. And well, once it's on the internet, it doesn't go away. So I'm stuck with it. But just listening to pop and just whatever my mom played in the car. And as I got older, I started, my dad would play country music around me. My mom would play country music. And I remember just kind of, it hit me one day and I turned to my dad in the car and I said, I know why we listen to country music now, because it's everything that we are. We love God first. We take care of our people, and we are very patriotic, and we love our country. And that's everything that we are. And so I thought, okay, this is who I am. This music reflects me as not only as an artist, but as a person, and country music it was.
I respect that big time. You kind of answered it a little bit there, but one of my questions was, like, when did you first know you were different? So you kind of answered that about dad asking, but what age were you when did mom hear you in the shower and was like, okay, wait a minute? Or when was that first moment where we were like, oh, there's something here?
So I don't think that I myself, I kind of tried it through high school, which I'm grateful for. That's the one thing that I will forever be grateful for, is that I got to live out normal high school life. I wasn't, put into all of this from a very young age. While I did start with the vocal lessons from the time I was 7, 8, something around there. And like I said, cheer, dance, all that, getting me prepared for it. I got to be a normal teenager. So I didn't really realize it until all of my friends were starting college and, getting prepared, working jobs,
right,
having rent that they have to pay. And for a minute, I was like, okay, maybe this is a little bit too hard. Maybe this is something that I can't do. Maybe I should just go to college like the rest of my friends. And all of my friends moved away for college. So I was feeling lonely, stuck here. Everybody else is leaving. And I sat and I had a long talk with myself and a long talk with my parents. And I was like, you know what? All of the things that have happened to me, like being cheer, dance, back to that, having the backing that I do with mom and my dad, and the support system that I have with aunts, uncles. It's not just for no reason. The good man upstairs, he gave that to me for a reason, and it's so that way I can live out my dreams. So I don't know if there's ever a time that I really noticed it, but my parents, when I was 14 and when I was in choir, and my
got a gift, though. That's awesome.
My choir teacher put choreography into the Queen medley.
Okay.
And I was eating that up, let me tell you. I was moving and grooving to We Will Rock You. There was no stopping me on the risers. I was stomping like there was no tomorrow. You know what I sounded like? I sounded like the Zumba class that they were doing upstairs. Yeah. That was me. But actually, mom has been a dancer all her life. Okay. My mom started dancing when she's like 3 or 4, and she started with ballet. And so she's like, I'm going to put you in ballet, and so you're going to follow in my footsteps. And so I did ballet, and I was like 4. And that's when I first broke my mom's heart. I looked at her and I said, I'm not a dancer. I don't want to do this. I don't like this. And now looking back on it, I'm like, I should have stuck with it. I would have been real good. I would have been even better with all the choreography and with theater productions. Let me tell you, I look back on it and I'm like, dang, why didn't you force me to stay with it?
Story of everybody's life a little bit. Yeah, everybody's got a little bit of that.
Everybody's got something. Huh?
Shout out to mom and the family though. Like too, because
I was thinking that same thing.
You know how many parents? You know how many parents go the other route? You know what I'm about to say already. There's a lot of parents that don't go that route. That are like, that you ain't about to sing. Go get a job. Go to school. There's a lot of parents like that. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm of the person, and it might sound corny or cliche, but I'm of the person that, like, if we only have one life, You know, like I don't coach for money. Like I don't get paid to do this right now. Like this is I'm a high school football coach. You don't get paid in high school, or if you do, whatever you do, it goes right back into the kids and into the program. So you got to find things that you like to do, and even if it's not generating the necessary, like you have to find solutions. I don't think the parents route that we see so often of like shutting a kid's passion down and shutting their motivation, because I think that leads to a lot of like different depression and different things down the road, that
it leads to constant doubt of yourself,
or self-doubt,
stuff like that.
Right.
Well, with that being said, one of my favorite country singers, Megan Maroney, one of my favorites, her parents forced her to go to college first. She's like, I want to be a singer. They said, no, you're going to go to college first. And things worked out for her in the end. But I think all the time, you know, what would I have done if I didn't have the support system? Because I really couldn't do this without my mom and my dad. They've instilled this work ethic into me. And I have, like I said, aunts, uncles, my friends are all supportive. They show up and show out for me whenever they can. A lot of my uncles are my roadies when I need them to be.
That's awesome.
But also the money thing that you were just referring to. Luke Combs has a song that I sing in my set. It's called Doing This. And one of the lines is, it ain't about the fame and it ain't about the fortune. It doesn't matter to me about that. What matters is that I get to be up on a stage and do what I love.
Yep.
Every weekend.
That's it. And the money will come as long as you keep doing what you love and keep the passion.
Listen, I could be 45. If the money still didn't come, I'd be all right regardless.
Too many people
it's the journey.
But it is about that.
It is the journey.
It really is. It's the networking. It's the people you meet. It's the times that are had. Everybody always forgets that. They're so focused on the end goal, and they forget to enjoy and appreciate the thing along the way.
Well, it's like my grandpa TC, he used to say that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Mm-hmm. And while I am putting in so much hard work right now, it never feels like a job. It just feels like I'm getting to do what I love and I'm having fun doing it.
It's one of those things. It's climb the mountain to see the world, not to be seen.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. That's my favorite quote.
No, so when you see that as my next Instagram caption, just let me borrow it.
It's my Facebook caption or whatever you call it.
It's your bio?
Yeah.
I'm going to copy and paste it, put it in mine next. I'll tag you though, don't worry.
Yep, no doubt.
Give credit where credit is due. I got you. Don't
Appreciate
worry.
it.
So I wanted to ask this before I forget. So who are some other kind of, I guess it could be country music icons, it could be just anybody else. Who are some other people that you kind of draw inspiration or grew up looking up to, listening to?
Yeah, so my favorite country music inspirations, Lainey Wilson, 1,000%. She lived in her trailer lived in a trailer for 12 years before, anything kind of happened. And I was just watching her documentary, and she said a lot of people think I'm an overnight success, but she paid her dues and busted her butt to get to where she is today. Same thing with Ashley McBryde. She has paid her dues. She started performing bars when she was 17 as well. And my best friend and I, we just saw Ashley McBryde this past weekend on Friday at Country Rumble in Lima. And we saw her last summer in Rossford. So, seeing her on stage, every time, the last couple times that I saw her, it reminds me of what I do this for, and hearing her stories and how hard she's worked. I'm like, okay, that gives me so much more inspiration and motivation. I had an Ariana Grande phase in high school, and I know that you're thinking, oh, you liked her music. No,
I honestly don't know anything about Ariana Grande.
Well,
I know the other people.
I'm here to tell you, I used to run around in a really high ponytail every day in school, in public. Wore really big sweat. This is circling back to the digital footprint. Wore really big sweatshirts, and I made everybody in my freshman class call me Ariana. And I thought they were like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. It took one person to say I looked like her, and I took it and I ran with it because she was my favorite singer at the time. And I thought, oh my gosh, everybody thinks I'm so cool. Like I'm so like oh my gosh, wow. And then senior year, my best friend now, Madeline, she was like, I hope you know, like back then we were all making fun of you. Like it was not.
That's a best friend for sure.
Oh yeah. But
Right,
I
tell
was
the
like, why
truth.
didn't you tell me? She's like, I went along with it. It was funny.
Fun.
It's like, okay, perfect. But no, so that was a moment that I had. It was humbling. Incredibly humbling. That's the only word to describe it as humbling. But I also really like Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen,
Yeah, I like both.
Cameron Marlowe, which I'm playing the same festival as Cameron Marlowe in 2 weeks, country concert in Fort Laramie.
Talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
Let's go down that path.
I'm the youngest to do it, and I have a Saturday night slot at 7:00, right after Clint Black opening up for Bailey Zimmerman.
That's pretty
huge.
damn good. Like that's impressive. A Saturday 7:00 slot is like,
Yeah.
That's like main to me. I mean, I think that's like main time to go want to see a show.
So how it happened?
That's the main stage in my eyes.
Right.
They
That's prime.
they started following me on Instagram. Well, I didn't know this at the time, but my parents were going to get me tickets for Christmas. I had never been. So they start following me on Instagram in like October. And mom starts getting on dad. She's like, these tickets are going to go up after the new year. We need to get them.
Right.
No, they're vetting her. They just started following her. I think they want her something's up. Sure as shit. Tickets go up after the new year. She's fuming. She is so mad. And I don't know why she's mad, right? Because they're not going to tell me, hey, like, we were going to get you the tickets, but sorry, not anymore. So I'm like, I don't know what you're so mad at dad for. That's crazy. A week later, they call and they said, hey, we want you at country concert. And
that's wild.
My dad was at work at the time. So I call him and I'm like, Dad, country concert's on the phone. They pick a time, 5 or 7. And he's like, 7. And he's thinking in his mind, okay, they probably want her on Wednesday or Thursday. So 7:00 on Wednesday or Thursday. And so he calls on his lunch break and he's like, oh my gosh, you got country concert at 7:00 on what day? Wednesday or Thursday? That's awesome. I'm proud of you. No, Dad, I got country concert Saturday night at 7.
Crazy.
Are you kidding me? Saturday night? Yeah. So mom and dad were going to take me, and now I'm taking them and the family. So
that's awesome.
And so for those who might not know, like country concert,
that's so
and
silly.
faster horses are like the big ones. Like country concerts, not just like that's like the spot.
Yeah, country concert. It's the biggest in the East Coast, right? Biggest country concert.
That's what I'm saying. So like a lot of people know that one and faster horses, and that's like to me to be Saturday night in the biggest country music festival, like that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
what a career moment.
They wanted me for faster horses too, but I had to sign a non-compete with country concerts so that way faster horses couldn't steal me too. So
okay,
but we'll see. Maybe
just for
next
this year.
They're 1 week apart from each other, but I'm still very grateful.
Yeah, that's incredible opportunity.
When they called in January, I was like, okay, I got some time to prepare, get myself together, and everything that I've done leading up to now, or the bigger shows that I've had prior. Last summer, I opened up for Scotty McCreery.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so I started gigging right after high school at Cinco de Mayo with an amp and a corded microphone.
Oh, you're talking about the actual, like restaurant Cinco de Mayo.
Restaurant Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
Yep. I'm tucked off in the corner.
Right.
Cinco de Mayo.
I'm over here trying to visualize.
Yep. Quarter mic. I got my amp resting on a chair. And I hadn't, I'd sang before, but I hadn't entertained. So I took all that time to learn and figure out, okay, how do I engage with the crowd? What are the things that you say to the crowd to get them feeling you, get them hyped, energized, whatever. And one of my favorite memories from that and learning experiences, if you will, it was probably my second or third show there. And I was learning how to interact with the crowd. So I go up to this table and I can tell that they're singing with me, feeling me. And I pull them all up to dance with me. And after my show was over, after I got done singing, one of the family members went up to me and said, we just came from a funeral, from my grandpa's funeral is what he said. And he said, you absolutely made our night. And that changed my perspective on performing is, okay, it's not about you and what you want to say or what you want to do. It's how are you going to make everybody else feel? And so that going forward,
what a point.
The Cinco de Mayo, it got me prepared to open up for Scotty. opening up for Scotty led me into performing in bars. Now I made that step. Performing in bars has got me prepared for country concert. So everything happens for a reason, and I don't take any opportunity for granted, and I'm very grateful for all of it.
I heard one of those opportunities was just here recently, right down the road, not too far.
Yeah, I was
Tell us
just
about it.
I was just at the quarry. It was a lot of fun. So I did a show, or the last time I did a show in Monroe was around the corner at Amaya's.
Okay, that's
Family
shout out,
owned,
that's-
actually. Shout out to Uncle Tino.
Okay,
And-
I had no idea.
She told me right before we went live.
Well, I'm looking at the
we're
banner and I was
obviously,
like, oh my gosh, Amaya's, is that one of your guys' sponsors?
Yep, and great friends of ours. Yep, shout out to Tino.
Shout out to Uncle Tino. And so I hadn't done a show since I performed.
The puppy snoring.
My brother's snoring. Don't worry, we'll talk about him later. I have a lot to say about him. Don't worry.
He's rocked.
Oh yeah. What can I say? My voice, it just really carries and puts him to sleep. But anyways, so the last time that I was up here in Monroe was for the show that I did at Amaya's, and Corey reached out and I was like, oh my gosh, absolutely. And I was happy to be back in Monroe for a show, and the crowd was great. The energy was great. I had a lot of fun. Shout out to the Corey. Thank you for having me.
Yep, that's
They've
awesome.
got a
But-
cool environment.
It was, and I was right. The water was right behind me too.
Mhm.
So just
That's
everything about
cool.
it was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But you know, since then, my shows have been moving down south more. So I'm in Cleveland and Columbus this weekend
Sweet.
for Laramie. The week after that, I'm in Bradner, Ohio, Louisville in July
Really?
at the
Okay.
PBR bar.
All
Yep.
right. That's
So, and then we're gonna take a trip to Nashville in August. I got some writers' rounds lined up, some writing sessions lined up. very
big
excited.
time.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Huge opportunities and things coming ahead. That's big time.
So I'm all about mindset and getting into people's minds. What is your mindset with everything you just said? It's all new to you, right? You haven't been to that stage before. What's your mindset going into this?
Well, before I start every show, every rehearsal, every anything, whether it's an audition or an acting job, I always pray and I thank God and I give glory to God, because at the end of the day, none of this would be possible if it weren't for the man upstairs. My pre-show ritual is blaring my favorite country music as loud as I possibly can, vocal warming up, steaming my vocal cords, tea. I gurgle salt water, which is not fun. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you guys. Like, it's salt water. Like, how could it be fun? But gets my voice prepared. And then before I go on, I pray with my parents, and they have put this mindset into me of there's absolutely nothing that I can't do. They've put the work ethic into me. They are at every show. Every single show, I know that they're going to be there, and I know that they're going to cheer the loudest for me and have my back through all of it.
That's a big part of
It is.
because it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same.
I'm not
really-
sure if I would be doing this if it weren't for them.
You really need both, in my opinion. You need a great support system and a lot of love, and you also need a handful of people that maybe don't support you that you kind of thought would, or you need a little bit of the doubters too, that you can kind of. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna sound bad, but I like those people just because it fires me up just to piss them off. Like I get that little bit of fun in that, where I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I know you thought I wasn't gonna do this, but
It
I
is
told
so
you I was gonna do it.
so crazy that you say that, because I have two stories about that actually. Last weekend, I performed. So I'm from Holland, in
Okay,
Holland,
yeah,
Ohio.
yep.
So I performed at the Strawberry Festival.
Yeah.
And I had gone to that festival my freshman and sophomore year with my friends. For sure got into some trouble. It's totally fine. Then COVID shut it down, and so I never got the chance to go back. But it's such a huge part of the Holland Springfield community. And I remember being in high school and telling people that this is what I was going to do, and not just students, but also teachers and administrators looking at me like I was crazy.
Yep.
You're not going to college. You're not going to do X,
Those
Y,
are
and
the
Z.
biggest ones.
Teachers are some of my, I people might come at me because I'm a coach, but teachers are some of my favorite doubters.
Yep.
But I did have a lot of teachers that were also very supportive. So just this past weekend, I was the headliner at the Strawberry Festival on Saturday night with everyone from high school. Oh my gosh, I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
I knew you had it in you. I knew you could do this. But I wasn't too worried about them. What I was worried about were so my fan base is called the Joeys. So I was worried about all my little Joeys up in the front, sitting like this, just watching me and singing along with me. So it was very full circle and pretty cool to prove the doubters and the haters wrong and say, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm up here. But also with country concerts, so I'm playing on the homegrown honky tonk stage. And I did a news article with the Sydney News. And when the article was published, somebody said, sounds like some Andy Joe Taylor sounds like some honky tonk made up name. And it took everything in me to not become a keyboard warrior. But I wanted to say, well, good thing I'm playing the homegrown honky tonk stage. I chose peace, but I really wanted to choose violence in that moment, but it's totally fine. I didn't. But no, you do absolutely have to have both. And I have, like I said, a great support system. Mom and dad have, taught me that one of my favorite Lainey Wilson songs that I also cover, she says, I'm born tough as nails. And my parents have made me tough as nails to where those people that doubt me and look at me like I'm crazy, thank you. You're adding fuel to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. And the people that do support me, thank you, because you're also adding fuel to my fire.
I also respect you for taking the high road because I'm not going to lie. There's times where I'm like, there's times I take the high road and then there's other times where I'm like, oh, we about to get into this today. I'm like, all right.
My favorite
here we go. Let's go.
My favorite thing to do to rattle people is I smile. I look them dead in their eyes and I just smile and I say, thank you.
Thank you for contributing to our algorithm.
It makes them even more mad if you don't fire back at them. If you just
And the thing is, the more successful you keep growing, the more that number grows, right? Because it comes with it, right? Your fan base grows, but then that handful starts to grow too. And so, eventually when I do think like when you get to a certain level of busy and whatnot, you don't really even have time to care about them other than to just put them back here and just use it.
One of the things that Lainey Wilson says is never take advice from someone who is in the position that you don't want to be in.
Yep.
And so
Fact.
Why would I take advice and kindness, not to be rude, but I want to be Scott. I want to be Lainey, right? I want to be Ashton McBride, Megan Maroney, whoever. Why would I take advice from somebody who's not?
Coach don't know how to be that.
I would take advice from Coach just because he's a coach.
You ever heard this man sing? Don't take
no advice on singing.
Advice.
Maybe some other advice.
That's okay. Well, I heard you guys are having a rap battle. I was just about to say. I heard you guys are having a rap battle. We could go toe to toe.
Show up and cheer.
Coach says he wants to be on the next album.
Okay, I got you. You know what? We're working on the EP right now. I got you. We can have our own writing session. I'll be back.
I will ruin that song. You don't want to ever hear me.
There's a great thing that there's auto-tune,
Yeah.
We'll hook you up.
We're in new times.
Don't worry.
Or we got like AI, just take my voice.
We got AI.
Make it say like, make this good, AI. Make this voice actually good.
Me and my dad were just talking about this. Somebody AI'd. I'm sure you guys have seen that TikTok going around of that girl, the Hawk 2.
Yeah.
Somebody
it's taken over.
Somebody AI'd a country song about the Hawk 2 meme.
I heard it and it's actually decent.
It's honestly not bad.
For not
my
being
dad
a
was
human.
playing it and I was like, why didn't we play this at my birthday party? Why haven't we made a line dance to this yet? Come on, people. Like,
but you know what? I was telling my wife, I was like, while you can think what you want about the video or whatever, at a time where we're all talking like a lot of stuff's going on in our world and we're all talking Biden, Trump, and we're all talking all this other stuff. Like, at least we're all laughing and coming together and sharing memes.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Joe Exotic in 2020. Yeah. I was like, somehow this weird show and this creepy dude just brought the entire country together.
Also,
in a time of despair.
You know what else I think brings people together in our country is music.
Yeah.
It
It
is a
does.
universal language,
1000%.
and
Sports and
it doesn't
music.
matter
Yep.
what you got going on, what your beliefs are.
100%.
If I sing a song that you love and somebody else loves, okay, you guys are going to get up and you guys are going to sing it together. And that is what makes me happy, especially if it's, I try to keep that in mind when I write my own music. Is this something universal that everybody can relate to?
Frequencies are a great thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
I also, so like when I go to a football game, right, or you go to a concert and you look and it's like everybody stopped their stress, everybody stopped fighting, everybody stopped bitching about whatever they were, fighting about. Everybody's together, and it's like, even if it's
Yeah.
just for that couple hours, it shows as humanity, like under
Absolutely.
music, under certain things, we can still, like, it's a beautiful thing. And it's like, you look around I've been to a million concerts, from Cypress Hill, Eminem, to Kid Rock, to Billy Currington, to Dierks Bentley, to, like, I've been to a million concerts, right? And you look around and it's always, even if it's a country concert, it's people from everywhere. If it's a rock concert, it's people from everywhere.
Well, I've been to a lot of concerts too. Jason Aldean, Carrie Underwood. We saw Morgan Wallen in the Shoe, which was one of my favorite concerts. Luke Combs in the Shoe. I gotta say,
I have to
go
say,
Bucks.
I'm a Michigan fan.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
I'm in
Go
Monroe, so I was like, I don't know, should I say it? But
It's okay.
I'm always gonna rep the Buckeyes. It doesn't matter where I go.
No, I respect that.
But I've been to a handful of concerts, and I mean, it's like you said, it really does bring people together. My best friend Madeline and I, keep her name in mind because I actually never shut up about her. But we went to see Sabrina Carpenter last summer, and we camped out all day because we got floor seats for it. So we camped out from 11 a.m. until the concert started, and we made friends with everybody in line, and we're all playing our music and dancing and having a good time. And another important moment, if you will, of people coming together was the Jason Aldean concert in Vegas when the shooting happened. 2019? I thought it was 18. 2019. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's 18.
Not far before COVID.
They said in the documentary there were fans running to the shooter to stop and to protect everybody that was around there. And it's like you said, it's nice that music and sports, it unites humanity.
Yep, brings people together, even just for a common just enjoyment, passion. Yeah. And then like you said, at the same, or like we were just saying, at the same time, it's just it's a non-stress environment. Everybody, like, concerts are one of my favorite things to do. It's just
same. It's
just cool. You just go, you forget about everything for a night. You can go with your buddies, you can go with your girlfriends, you can go with your wife, your husband. You can go to a concert, pretty much, anybody, and just go have a good time. And I think it's one of those things where I'm actually glad after COVID to see it. Like, people are, like, really, concert tickets
coming back to normal,
or even skyrocketing because of it, because everybody wants to go. But
it's wild that it's honestly, it's really taken this long to really truly get back to normal.
Yeah,
and we're not even there yet.
But I will say, I love going to concerts, but I haven't been able to go to as many as I want to because I'm having my own concerts.
Right, you're doing your own
but
shows.
I did, like I said, I got to see Ashley McBride, and we have VIP tickets to see Lainey. Well, we got them for all 3 days, right? We got VIP tickets at country concert to see Cody Johnson, Lainey, and Hardy VIP. So
shoot, I like
I told them, I said, okay, if I'm taking you guys to a country concert, we got to do all the days, get the full experience.
So I'll be honest, I was kind of like a real old school country guy I was like stuck on, like, the old Alan Jackson, Tim McGraw. Like, I was really stuck on old, and I was like stubborn. I was like, some of this new country. So I didn't listen to a lot of it. And then about over the last maybe 3-4 months, I started listening to, like, Hardy and Wallen and some of the newer stuff. And I'm like, all right, some of this is pretty good.
Some of it's pretty good. It's got you bobbing your head.
It did. I was like, damn it, Wallen got me. I'm like, all right, that'd be a good show. He's got like 5 songs now. I'm jamming.
Man, he brings an insane energy to his shows.
His show's good.
Oh yeah, so
he's pretty wild.
The show that we were supposed to go see, Hardy was supposed to open up for him. It was supposed to be Bailey, Ernest, Hardy, then Morgan. Well, Bailey and Hardy were doing a festival the day that we went, so they weren't opening for Morgan, but we did get to see Riley Green and Ernest open up for Morgan. Riley Green is also really good.
Yeah,
but
Riley Green is pretty good.
He's also going to be at country concert, Riley Green, which I'm also really excited because
that's so many people.
I told my dad, I don't know about you, but I'm going to end up backstage with Riley Green somehow, and that's going to be your son-in-law. Sorry. I know he's older than me, but age isn't nothing but a number, guys. It's fine. No, I'm kidding. But circling back to Tim McGraw, we just saw Tim McGraw in concert. He was just in Toledo last month.
I was going to say at the Huntington, right?
Yeah, I did the pre-show party at Cock and Bull. Then I did an after party at Osteria. Well, we also went to the concert, and he said, I don't do much talking because I got a wife and 4 daughters, and I got to watch what I say. So just sit back and enjoy the songs. But he was so good. And me and my dad and my aunt and my cousin and my mom and some of our friends, we were just down there on the floor, fist bumping, having a good time. It was awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Speaking of, we were talking about bringing people together. Music does that. Our friend Gear Changer is from Australia. He actually is joining us right now, and he says he's been sick for a few months, and he's getting better day by day. I just had to say hi to Gear Changer. It's been a couple months since I've seen him on here.
Oh, well, yeah.
And more of bringing people together. I'm assuming you have little girls as fans now, right?
Yeah.
So you're becoming kind of a role model in some of these little girls' eyes, like you said, Ariana was for you, right? That's where you're at.
I don't know if we could say role model. I think it was delusion.
Okay. Well,
that's what we're
going to
say.
Be some girls with some delusion of you here soon. How does that affect you, your mindset, the way you approach life?
Well, first and foremost, I just have to give a shout out to it's Gear Changer, right?
Yep.
Gear Changer. That is awesome that you're feeling better. Thank you for joining us. And I'm glad that you're here on this episode. My name's Andi Jo, sending you all of the love and prayers and hoping that you get well soon. But I do have, yes, a younger following of younger girls. They are, well, my fan base itself is called the Joeys, but I call them my little Joeys. And man, oh man, do they look up to me. They got the t-shirts. My one little Joey, she got boots and a cowboy hat and a sparkly microphone like mine. And she was me for Halloween, which I can't even tell you how good that made me feel. I sing a song in my set by Gabby Barrett. It's called Footprints on the Moon. And she says, everybody says that you can't till you do, but there's footprints on the moon. And if there's ever little Joeys in the crowd, I always tell them, if there's anything that you want in this life, if there's any big crazy dreams that you have, go after it. Because if I'm up here living out my dreams, then you can do it. But if you're going to be a dreamer, you better be a doer too, and be prepared to put in the hard work.
Big message.
So with being such a role model and somebody that they look up to and an inspiration to them, I just want to show them that if there's anything that they want to do, that shoot, if I'm up here with a belt buckle and boots and a big old cowboy hat and a bedazzled microphone singing my songs, you guys can do anything that you want to do in this world too. So it feels very rewarding to know that I have younger girls that are looking up to me, and I try to spit them the best advice that I possibly can. Also, my 2 younger cousins, they're 15 and 13 because Emma just turned 13. My little cousin, her and I, we share a birthday, and she just entered her teens as I left mine, and they come to me for a lot of advice, and it feels pretty cool being the cool older cousin, or the
coolest person they know,
or the cool singer that everybody's like, oh, Andi Jo, tell me about this, tell me about that, or you're so pretty, I want to be just like you. Like, oh my gosh, thank you. I just want to scoop you up, give you the biggest hug. But no, it does feel very rewarding.
You know what, too, on to piggyback off of that, I think it's super cool, and I respect that somebody that our young generation looks up to still, somebody talking about wholesome values, right? Prayer, hard work, family, support system, community, dreaming and then going and working on the dream and not just dreaming, you know, all those sort of things. I think we need more of that. So I think somebody that, you know, is younger coming up, I think that's super important to have people like you in those roles. You know, in coaching, we are still the same way. I still coach, I guess old school, you could call it, as far as teaching kids those values and those sort of ways of doing things, because you know, people can argue till they're blue in the face, but like if you're just to kind of look at things with common sense or even statistics to back it, like families and kids who are raised in those environments or under those values, they just do better, right? They grow up and they have more success and they end up ultimately being happier.
One of my biggest things that I saw that had me like, okay, I also need to prove to my younger fans' parents that, hey, I'm not trying to push anything negative or steer your kids in the wrong direction. I remember seeing a Facebook post about Taylor Swift, and a couple moms were commenting and they were like, I do not let my daughters listen to her. She's not a good influence, whatever. And I remember seeing that and thinking, I never want somebody's parents to say that about me ever. So I'm going to do everything in my power to be that positive influence on them. And circling back to what you said with being so young, I totally hear where you're coming from, because my younger cousins, I tell them all the time, I know when I was 13, 15, I didn't want to hear it from mom and dad. I think that they're crazy.
They're not looking up to the 40 and 50.
But when you hear it from
to the younger people,
this cool 20-year-old who's living a pretty cool life, oh my gosh, you're right. You're right. You're so right.
Same words.
Well, she's doing it. So
Could be the same exact
I'm saying
words.
the exact same thing.
The
But
same way.
It's just cooler. It's cooler when it's coming from somebody, I guess, that's, you know, doing some pretty cool stuff in my life. I don't know. It's nothing crazy. It's just I sang here and there. I don't know. It's act.
What kind of acting?
What kind of acting?
I mean, like what movies, if you were gonna be in a genre, what genre would you want to choose?
So how about I tell you what I've done so far, and then I'll tell you what a dream movie would be.
Perfect.
So I shouldn't say just, actually. I filmed a project up here in Detroit. It's a bilingual short film. It just got picked up for the International New York City Film Festival. My biggest memory from that project was it being bilingual. My mom and I are sitting at the kitchen table for 4 hours, and she is screaming these Spanish lines to me over and over and over and over again, hoping that I get it. I got it, right? After 4 hours. But that also sparked my interest of, okay, it is so important to be bilingual. And I sing in Spanish, right?
I was going to ask when you mentioned Cinco de Mayo.
I sing in Spanish, but I'm not an excellent speaker, but I'm learning day by day. Sometimes she'll just flip it and just start talking to me in Spanish. And I'm like,
that's how you learn the best.
It is, yeah, if you're just entrenched into it. I took it in high school, but I mean, I didn't. I was in high school.
I learned more.
I was too busy being Ariana Grande. It's fine,
high
guys.
school Spanish.
I learned more Spanish on the construction site than I did in Spain.
But no, so I did that project. It just released, but I did a film called The Lifeguards. I play a mischievous, typical 19-year-old college party girl who is a summer lifeguard and finds herself getting into some trouble with the rest of the lifeguards. It is a comedy summer coming of age film, and that one is showing at the Mommy Indoor Theater every Monday at 7.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Yeah.
I've been in
So
there
you guys ever want to make a trip, you guys should check it out. But that one also got picked up by the Cleveland Film Festival and also the New York Arts Film Festival.
Okay.
I have an upcoming project that I'm filming at the beginning of 2025 in Dayton called Speakeasy with Echo Eternal Productions. I have to give a huge shout out to Pat and Mike, thank you. I don't know why I wanted to call him Mark. I'm like, who the hell is Mark? It's certainly not Mark. Pat and Mike, they are working so hard on this project, and I get to play the lead guitarist in a punk rock band. So
Okay.
very different
That's
from country.
Right, versatile. Okay.
With being in the Lifeguards, and then now playing Izzy in that film that I'm filming. It's called Speakeasy. I had to listen to a lot of screamo music to get into the character Emma for the Lifeguards. She's got a little bit of edge to her. So I was like, okay, this is for sure what she would listen to. And now as I prep for the film next year, I got to get back into the screamo. But I told them, I said, hey guys, I got to
18.
I said, you guys got to let me finish out the summer of
Torture.
being cowgirl, and then I'll switch it up for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I can't intermix, or else I'm gonna get up on stage and just scream into the mic at some point. And it's just, but I also did a show in Kansas City that's out now on Short Max called Nikita of the New Moon. That was my first time leaving home by myself. Somebody's not doing well. I can't talk about it. She loses her mind. But I flew to Kansas City all by myself, and I was there for 2 weeks, and then they had me come back again 2 weeks later for pilots that I can't talk too much about, but have also been picked up. So I'll be headed back to Kansas City in the fall to work on those. So I have stuff that's out, stuff that's sort of out, and stuff that I'm not sure when it will be out, just because of the film festival rollouts and the way that those work. And I have upcoming stuff that I'm really looking forward to. My dream project to be in, I am a huge scary movie fan. I love the horror genre. We are actually trying to work something out with the people that I work with in Kansas City. They are trying to type up a script where I get to be kind of like a Megan Fox and Jennifer's Body
Okay.
type of horror film. So we're something along those lines. But I also would love to be a final girl where there's for sure a running car in the corner with like keys in it, ready for her to go. And she decides, I'm going to run in the dark, scary woods.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. And you're like yelling at me through the screen, what are you doing? Go right there. But that would also be something cool.
I just so happen to know a guy, Mr. Spooky Films.
Spooky
I was
Films.
just getting ready to say
he makes
know
horror
a guy.
movies.
I was well, you said he does
Music videos.
yep. But I was like, well, it seems Spooky
Can
Films.
I be
hope
honest
that he...
with you? He's the go at what he does. Like he's the greatest. That guy is like
Quick turnaround.
yeah. He's
So you guys gonna hook me
Very
up,
good.
get the introduction going? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
We got
just
you.
making sure.
Yep. Shout out to Spooky.
Spooky.
Spooky. Can't wait to work with you, man.
Yep.
Yeah, but that would be something really cool, because I feel like I've done the comedy, I've done the romance, I've done the bilingual.
I knew it was coming.
Yep, it's fine. I've done the deep, heavy stuff, and now it would be fun to do something a little different. Yeah, in that genre. Speaking of, I said that I had a lot to talk about when it came to my little brother. Fun fact, I'm an only child, but I do have a first sibling. I have 3 first siblings, but the 2 are at home. That's my little brother Benson. Can I show him to everybody? He's not ready. Okay, he's got to get camera ready. He's got touch-ups that he has to get. This dog is, you guys are gonna see him, the viewers, and you guys are gonna think he's the coolest thing. But I'm here to tell you, he knew that we were coming to BrainJerk Studios, so he said, I have to be a jerk. This is Benson.
Look how cool he is.
Benson Owen Taylor. Follow him on Instagram.
Oh, he's got an
At
Instagram.
Benson Owen
No.
Taylor. You don't have to. But you can follow me at Andi Jo Taylor on all socials. And I do have a website, andijotaylor.com. And my summer schedule posted. I would love to see some of the Pilar Talk listeners at a show.
Definitely.
But this dog, let me tell you, we fight like no tomorrow. It really is like having a little brother. Him and we fight over my mom all the time. Like if I say goodnight I come in my mom's room. I give her a kiss goodnight before bed, right? If I get too close to her, he hits me with his paw in the face. I go up to him and I go, "This is my mom," and he gets so mad at me. We fist fight with each other just for fun. I don't. If I say something bad about him, he knows. Like after this,
Like right now.
he's not even looking at me.
Yeah, he looks pissed right now.
Yeah, he knows.
He's like, all right, I see.
I swear to you, he's like a little human. Like he understands.
He's like, you show me on camera and then you talk trash while I'm on.
You
camera.
show me on camera, then you throw me that way. Now you're talking bad about me. Yeah, absolutely. So if you heard yapping, that's it.
I have another question that I want to before I forget. So you have a single out, right?
Yeah. Country Back.
Tell us about that and what goes into making a single like that.
So Country Back is actually in the Lifeguards soundtrack, by the way. Just had to throw that out there. So if you guys go see it, keep an ear out for Country Back. But I wrote that song when I took my first trip to Nashville with my mom and my dad. This was about 2 years ago. And I had booked a writer's round at the Commodore. And I had a couple originals, but it wasn't anything that I really stuck out to me or that would stick out to other people. And off Broadway, you can't perform covers. You have to perform originals because of copywriting. But on Broadway, you can perform covers.
That makes sense.
So we get to the Airbnb, and I made my parents drive the whole way while I slept the whole way. I did get up for Buc-ee's, though. Don't fret.
I've not been yet.
Oh my gosh.
Sooner or later, I'll be
incredible.
I want the Buc-ee's onesie. So when we go in August, keep an eye on my social media because then you're going to see me post it up at my next writer's round in a Buc-ee's onesie. But anyway, so I made my parents drive the whole way, and they were like, okay, we're going to take a nap. My dad says that they were not taking a nap, but I like to tell the audience that they were taking a nap. Keep it PG, right? Dad likes to talk some smack a little bit here and there. But no, he is an epic storyteller, funny guy. So anyways, my parents go take their nap. I was like, you know what? I am in the city where I know all of my dreams are going to come true. And I started to think about all the naysayers and all the doubters and the people that didn't believe in me, much like the people from my school or the people that think that my name is a made up honky tonk name. It's actually, yeah. Well, Andy, so Joe is my middle name. Andy is my nickname. Everybody's just always called me Andy. Andrea is my government name. Andrea Joe Taylor. So I know whenever I'm in some real bad trouble, if I hear Andrea, I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? And I start replaying like the last 42 hours. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? But anyways, so I started to think of all the naysayers, all the doubters, and Country Back was born in 15 minutes. And my parents got up, I played it for them. And one of the things about my dad is he can spot a hit song. Like, it's crazy. He'll listen to the radio and he'll be like, oh, that's going to be a big record. 2 months later, it becomes a big record. So I played it for them and he's like, that could be a hit. That's a really good song. So I sat on the song for like a year and a half before I even got in the studio to record it. I just wanted to get some more gigging experience under my belt before I started performing originals and putting them out there and releasing music. And the studio time and the process of making a record is so long, and I don't think people understand. Like, it's not like I just walk in there one day and I'm like, hey, I got this song, I want to make it, and it's done within a day, right? There is so much that goes into it, and I had a lot of learning myself to do with that. I worked at Firefly Studios, and I was also learning as I was going. I was actually some of the drum tracking that's in Country Back. I did that, which is super cool. The acoustic guitaring is also from the original voice memo recording that I made.
That's sweet.
When I first wrote the song.
Yeah, that's sweet.
But all in all, the song took about 3.5 months before we finished it, and it actually released just this time last year on my 19th birthday, which was this past Sunday. Well, not my 19th birthday, my 20th birthday, but it came out June 23rd of last year on my 19th
Happy birthday.
Yep.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Thank you. We had Andy Joe's Hoedown Throwdown at our house on Sunday with just closest friends and family. Yeah. I'm like, just like, it's really small, nothing crazy, just closest friends and family. 150 people later. I didn't even get to eat my own birthday cake because there were so many people there. But I will say I had a pretty badass birthday cake. it was a burn cake. So the top layer of it said, "If a year ago today could see me now," which is a lyric from an unreleased song that I have, that if you want to hear the full thing, you should totally come to a country concert in Fort Laramie to hear it, because I may or may not be playing it there. But the top of it said, "If a year ago today could see me now," and then it burned into my face. So
that is
that's
cool. I
like-
like those cakes are cool.
That's
I'll
like
be 100%
peak.
honest. I've never seen that, and that sounds
You light it.
absolutely.
I have
light
to
it
show
and
you
it-
guys.
the first
I'll show
top
you guys
layer goes away.
pictures and videos, but
That's insane.
I do have to give a shout out to Desiree, a family friend who made the cake. It was
Shout out.
awesome, and a lot of people said it was good. So that was one of the. Actually, I didn't get to eat that cake, but I did get to eat the birthday cake that Madeline got me. It said, "Congrats on escaping teen pregnancy."
Yeah, congrats.
And I sure did. And you know what? I'm real proud of it.
That is good.
Real proud of it. She said, "You know what? I wanted to do something really sentimental for you for your birthday." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, what did you do?" I'm so excited. She opens up the cake and I was like, "Oh, that's your idea of
She
sentimental."
sounds like a great
Sorry.
friend.
She is the best friend. Not only is she my best friend, but she plays many roles, and she's also a part of Team Andi Joe. She's assistant PR. She sometimes can be a bit of a keyboard warrior on my social medias, but it's totally fine. And we are just absolutely blessed to have her. My team it's filled with just family and my friends, that because at the end of the day, nobody's going to have my back more than my family and the people that have watched me grow from that 7-year-old girl at her recitals, or the 14-year-old girl doing that choir performance, or the Cinco de Mayo days. You know, they've watched me grow into what I am today, and I know that they're going to continue to watch me grow into wherever I go. So
Yep. So Jimmy Rothman has a question. He says, "Who's your dream collab?"
Shout out
Good
to Squirrels for
question.
that one.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Crazy
That was a great
Squirrels, yeah.
question. Let's see. There is definitely Ashley McBride, just because of when I think of Ashley McBride, I think of true 90s country storytelling. She is so great at doing that, but also making her music modern, but still having that storytelling. And you can hear it in her music, but not only that, but in her interviews and when she talks to the crowd at her shows. She's just an excellent storyteller. I would love to write with her or even do a song with her. Of course, Lainey. Come on now. She taught me how to rock a pair of bell bottoms. I have to do a song with Lainey at some point. Who else would I love to work with? I'm also open to doing collabs in different genres as well, like cross-pollinating, which I think is a huge thing that's going on in country music right now. Country is the new, like that's entirely where the music industry is going. And I'm just glad that I was already on the bandwagon, so that way people can't say, "Oh, you just hopped on," because it's trendy right now. But
I quit
there
listening
is
to
that.
country a long time ago, but Jelly Roll got me back. Real life Jelly Roll brought me
He used
back.
to be a rapper,
Yep.
and then he went country. And now Morgan is doing collabs with
Post
Lil
made
Durk.
a song too.
Post
That's
Malone.
right.
Posted just did
He's
one morning.
about to release his country album, which I give Posty credit for that, because he put out a tweet
Oh,
in
you're good.
like 2011, and he is like, "One day I'm going to make a country album," and now he's
Well,
making
I'm
a country
pretty sure
album.
he started out as a singer.
Yeah,
Playing
before he was a
guitar and
rapper.
singing.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is unpopular, but I don't hate anyone who crosses genre and tries it. Like
I love it.
when Lil Wayne did his rock album and everyone
Yeah.
hated on him. I was like,
My
well,
dad is a huge Lil Wayne
you know what? He
fan.
picked up a guitar and gave it a try.
And I'm not a huge fan of Jay-Z, but when Linkin Park and Jay-Z
Oh,
did
that
their
album
thing, that was
was
great.
That
Yeah.
Me and my
album was
dad,
super great.
we will ride around pimping to Lil Wayne all the time. Well, so we have a Jeep Wrangler, and we'll ride with the Jeep naked. It's a Jeep term. It's when you have the doors and the
Yeah.
tops and everything off. And me and him will big pimp listen to Lil Wayne, bobbing our heads, our shades on, for sure, hungover, hat backwards, all that. And
Yeah.
but I agree. I mean, I think it's really cool to explore other genres, and I want to be able to write in any genre, create in any genre, and explore any genre.
Speaking of that, I saw a video yesterday, I think. Do you guys know who Blind Fury is? He's a blind rapper.
No.
What?
He's blind, but he's like one of the best freestylists that you'll ever hear. This dude just put a video out of him singing one of his raps in a country. And I'm telling you, it's like Dwight Yoakam. He's that good. It's not just like, oh, he's singing in a country twang. He's actually good.
Can I ask you something though?
He's Dwight Yoakam, bro.
Can I ask you a question?
Why do I keep bringing Dwight Yoakam up?
I wish I knew who Dwight Yoakam was.
This time it's because he really does sound like Dwight Yoakam.
He said something about me listening to Dwight Yoakam.
I like to.
Who's Dwight Yoakam?
I'm like, I don't even know who Dwight Yoakam is.
He's an old country singer.
Yeah,
How old?
he's an actor and a country
probably heard
singer.
a couple of his songs.
Probably.
But like, I don't.
But
Listen, I don't
Coach,
even know.
I like to do this thing where when somebody's going to say something, I finish it with some outlandish whatever. And the one time we were on here and he's like, you know what? Who I really love? I said Dwight Yoakam. For no reason.
And it was not about country music or nothing.
No.
I was like,
Just randomness. I like random.
yeah, I can't even name a Dwight Yoakam song, to be honest with you.
Okay, so you remember this this funny reference, but you remember the show Hey Arnold?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
remember
no.
the scene where the kid was singing?
No.
You don't?
Dude, I was so
He was
young
singing
when I was
country. He
watching
sounds
that.
just like, and I'm pretty sure
It's Dwight
it was
Yoakam?
either Travis Tritt or it was Dwight Yoakam that actually sang.
See,
for him.
Travis Tritt.
Shout
I got
out to
that one.
Travis
Sounds very
Tritt.
similar.
So my first concert was Travis Tritt at the Ohio Rib-Off. That was my very
Shut up.
first concert.
I'm actually hosting the after party for the Toledo Rib-Off.
At the Rib-Off?
There, so at the Rib-Off, there's the bar right down from it called the Distillery, and
Yeah,
my guys and I were
Been down to
you
the
guys are.
distillery when
duh.
I was younger a couple times.
So my guys and I were hosting the after party for the Rib-Off at the Distillery.
That's
so,
awesome.
I'm really excited.
I haven't been in quite some years, probably like 2019 or 18 before COVID. Is the Rib-Off still like, is it still pretty?
Is it still popping?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm actually really upset because ribs are my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Like, I will tear up some ribs.
Me too.
I'm not one of those, but I have makeup on and I got my nails
Right
done.
on, just go
Absolutely
tear
not.
it up.
I'm gonna dive right in. I'm diving head first. I'm gonna get it in my hair and my teeth,
Yep,
and I'm
don't
still gonna
care.
talk to you with a big old smile on my face. But I'm sad because I can't go this year because we got to do sound and setup and all that. And the day before we have gigs the day before and the day after. Yeah, kickstand on Friday, and then the following day I'm in Port Clinton at Off the Rock. So
Oh shoot. Okay.
So you know
Off the Rock, one of my
I know
favorite.
Port Clinton
One
pretty
of my
well,
favorite
too.
venues to perform at. They're it's a pool bar.
Yeah.
So they have an in-ground pool, and then they have a deck with the bar.
Yeah.
So I performed there Memorial Day weekend, and I just did Father's Day, Sunday Fun Day there. My uncles came. My dad, obviously, my dad came, and I got to celebrate all of my uncles and my dad, all the special dads in my life.
That's awesome.
Honky Tonk Man.
I've been
You heard that song?
yes.
That's Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
I've also spent a fair share of time in the Port Clinton, Put-in Bay, Kelly's Island.
Oh, that's next.
I
Put-in
used
Bay.
to love those areas. Put-in Bay is a lot of fun.
Mhm.
A lot of days there. Lot that I don't. I'll be honest. A lot that I don't necessarily remember, but I know I had fun there.
Hi, Josh
My-
Hafler.
Yeah, Put-in Bay is a different animal, to be honest. Now I'm older. Like now I go, and if you're there, trying to do a show or whatever, it's different and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Put-in Bay tends to bring a pretty big crowd, I will say.
I can't say too much, but that is coming soon with my guys, Put-in Bay.
Put-in
But
Bay, that's incredible.
the first time I went to Put-in Bay, I was like 13 or 14, and my dad was trying to teach me how to drive. I was
He
12.
said, I'm gonna need your help.
I was 12.
I'm gonna need your help.
At the time, I didn't know Dad needed my help, right? I thought,
Responsible,
oh my
right?
gosh, Dad's teaching me how to drive. Like, this is so cool. This is so much fun. I almost tipped the golf cart over. We for certainly could have died. I don't know why he trusted me to drive this golf cart. But he was like, no, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you. Like, oh my gosh, I'm driving. I'm so cool. I got my shades on and my messy bun. I'm like Port Clinton, Put-in Bay, here I am. And I'm on the golf cart. I think I'm
Right.
Pippin, and I make
She
that
says-
turn. And
Put-in Bay, Ariana Grande has arrived.
I was like, I got my ponytail, guys. I'm here for the show. It was. Ariana was not making it to the show because she for sure almost tipped that golf cart over. Girl, what are we doing?
I will admit, there's always some fun stories that you're like, I'm just so glad that it worked out. Because there was one night we missed the last ferry. Like my first trip there, we missed the very last ferry to go back to the car. And we were just kind of stuck without a hotel room. We couldn't get one. It was booked. It was a busy weekend.
Yeah, that happened to my dad.
We ended up on a couple park benches hanging
out. That was my dad. Same thing.
Just
you know what?
Like, oh, I guess we're here.
You might have been in the same. It might have been the same time when that happened.
Weekend, right?
Same time. You guys are probably snuggled up on the same park bench like this.
It is a beautiful place, though. I will say the golf course and even just the water and even the the bars and the venues and restaurants, and it's good food and stuff. Frosties, shout out to Frosties.
Oh yeah.
But it's a good time.
I am really excited to go back there with my band. That'll be awesome. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, we're getting to that time, so
really,
yeah, we're already past an hour.
Time flies by when we're having fun.
Yeah. So give everybody your socials again. Tell them.
Yeah.
The dates of your next show, coming up shows. And
so website, andyjoetaylor.com. I have my summer schedule posted on there. Social media, just Andi Jo Taylor on all platforms. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you name it, and I have it because what 20-year-old doesn't have social media? Also, who doesn't have social media these days? I feel like if you're doing something like this or something like this, you have to have it.
Have to.
This weekend, I will be in Brunswick at the Brew Kettle. And I will also be at Twin Peaks in Columbus for the Buckeye Scoop meetup. Shout out to Kirk Barton and the Scoop fam. And then Fort Laramie for country concert. That is the 10th through the 13th. I will be there Saturday night on the 13th. Snuffy's in Bradner is July 5th. And Louisville PBR Bar is also in July. Can't think of the date right now. Yeah, Chris Stapleton is coming to the Huntington Center. I'm doing the pre-show party again at Cock and Bull for that, and then my guys and I are hosting the after party at Table 44. Okay. Country Legends in West Liberty, Ohio. I am opening up for Chris Cagle. I am very excited for that. That is in West Liberty, August 31st. Buckeye Waterfront at Buckeye Lake. That is August 24th with my guys. Go Bucks. I'm telling you guys, I don't care where I am. I'm always going to rep them. I'm sorry. We were talking about it coming up here, and she was like, do you think that you should? And I said, absolutely, I'm going to. Are you kidding me? It's always Go Bucks.
You're lucky you're a woman. He'd be fighting you right now.
I respect that. Like when we go to the Toledo Zoo or we come down to Toledo, like I'm always full blown Michigan gear.
Whenever we're up here, it's always full blown Buckeyes. Well, I was going to wear my game day Buckeye boots. I have red bedazzled boots, and I was like, you know what? First of all, I want the outfit to be a little more
in case you didn't know, they're a football family, coach.
I see that.
We are big.
I might see you in Columbus this year in November. I might come down for that one.
Oh, we're going to be there. I'm going to act like I don't know you until after.
I've been to the shoe when I was younger, but I haven't been in quite some years. So I try to go to a one away game for Michigan every year, although the last couple I haven't made it. But
I actually
shoe may happen.
I snuck in the student section this past November. My best friend Anna and her boyfriend Kyle, they go to Ohio State, and they snuck me in the student section with them, and there was just fireball shooters just flying around everywhere. And I'm like, wait, I gotta catch one, please, guys. Don't forget about me. But I snuck in the student section. Crazy experience. The band was right in front of us. Yeah, that's awesome. Like they were high-fiving us, and we're cheering them on. I'm jumping around, doing dances with them and everything. It was so much fun. Such a great experience. And just all the games that we've been to in the shoe. We go to the spring game every year. I just did the Menace to Sports live show for the spring game. Zach
with Coach
Zach Smith. Yep.
Okay. I know Coach Smith and Coach JB and from Last Chance U, and
I've had
conversations with JB and them a few times.
I am the Lady Menace for the live shows. I am their correspondent. So I did a spring game show with them, and then with Kirk, I did the Buckeye Scoop meetup, sang there, and we didn't get a chance to go to the game just because I was working and networking, so I got caught up. But I I did get to party with my friend and her boyfriend outside of their house, and we're playing beer pong. And then after that, I got to go to Saddle Up at the Woody, and I got to meet Coach Ryan Day. And I also got to meet country singer from Rascal Flats, Gary Laveau.
Okay.
And him and I sang Jolene together.
Nice.
Whoa,
That's huge.
Yo,
After the show,
what a moment.
I went and I got to meet him backstage, and I sang Jolene, and he just jumped in and started singing with me, harmonizing with me. I was like,
Yeah, that's incredible.
I'm keeping it real professional in front of him. I'm like, thank you so much for your time. It was so great meeting you.
As soon as
Can't
you
wait
walk
to
away,
see you
she
again.
like,
We get out in the parking lot, and I start sobbing.
heck yeah.
And I call Madeline. I'm like, Madeline, you're never gonna guess what just happened to me. Oh my
Right.
gosh! But it was crazy.
'Cause
That was a
those are
crazy
those
weekend. And then
moments.
the day after that, we ran the 4-miler, the Ohio State 4-miler, and you got to finish on the 50-yard line in the shoe.
That's sweet.
It was
cool.
badass. So
See,
that was
and
a crazy
I can
weekend for
appreciate
me.
all this just because I love football. And when I say I
Yeah.
love football, like I love X's and O's. I love coaching kids. I love everything that comes with football. I love tailgates. There's not one single thing except for officials that I don't love in football.
God, you got to meet
Officials
my
are
dad.
the only thing that I have a problem with.
I
But
wish
other than
Tommy
that, I
T
love
was
it.
here. You guys would chit chat it up.
I
Yeah,
love
Dad is the
football.
exact same way. My dad played football at Libby
Really? Okay.
High School. Yep.
Shout out.
And my dad was all city, all state, all American. He
Very
played football.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep.
So he's
So
big time football.
I
guy.
learned from a very young age everything that I needed to know. And now
See,
I'm like,
football is life. I keep trying to tell people. I keep
my
trying to
friends are
tell
like,
them.
oh my gosh, your outfit is so cute. Like, let's look cute for the game. And I'm like, no, I'm the one screaming at the TV with my uncles and my dad. We're losing our minds. But anyways, AndyJoeTaylor.com, at AndyJoeTaylor on socials. I have my summer schedule posted. Instead of going down the line, check it out for yourself. And I hope to see some of y'all at a show soon. Thank you guys so much for having me, Devin and Josh, and the Pillar Talk fam for sitting here, tuning in, asking your questions. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
We
thanks for
appreciate
coming
it.
on. And I
It's not about the dog. It's not his turn.
it's not that's not
You know how your hat says Andy's mom and not Benson's mom? Let that say something.
That's funny.
Anyways,
I see a bright future ahead. I mean, it's already
Thank you,
here
guys.
and it's only going to get brighter. You're
I am,
talking about acting and singing, and I could see you in, like, I don't know how much UFC you guys watch or anything, but the lady there her name's Megan O'Leary, and she does the commentary when the fighters are coming out.
really,
I could see you in that type of role.
you know what's really
it's
cool?
pretty cool.
It's crazy that you just said one of my favorite actresses, Sydney Sweeney. She just got picked up for boxing movie. So, and I love that diversity about her as an actress, is that she just did something like Euphoria, and then she just did a rom-com, and now she's doing something like that. So hope to be like that someday too.
You're on the right track though, because you're in the mindset of evolving.
Yeah.
So you're doing different projects. You're not sticking to kind of who you are, and I think that's not in a bad way, but sticking to one thing, right?
What I don't want to put myself in a box. Yeah.
Let me
throwing
experience
everything
it.
at the wall and seeing what sticks. I mean, Lainey, she did Yellowstone too. Like, that was so out of her comfort zone. She just said it in her documentary, and she was like, but
That's a great
it was a
show.
great opportunity. So
It's a
great show.
Great show.
great show.
I've been saying that from the beginning of BrainJerk too. Don't put us in a box.
Yep.
Don't paint us in a corner.
You guys are all sorts
When
of,
you,
you got
when
the
you
podcast.
think we're one thing, we're not. We're a different thing.
Devin and I are going to hit him with the rap battle. It's going to be
Yeah.
crazy. It's going to be great. I'm going to be at the next glizzy eating contest. Don't worry.
She's gonna enter herself into it. Yeah.
I will say
You
though,
got
guys,
a heck of a competition though with
Jeremiah.
my dad always yells at me though, because he's don't put ketchup on a hot dog. Actually,
Ketchup belongs on a hot dog. I don't care what anyone says.
I work with
Mustard guy.
K100, Today's Best Country. I do their Music No segment on their Facebook Friday live show with Guy in the 419, and Guy in the 419 before Mudhead's opening day. I sang the national anthem for Mudhead's opening day, and then I also did the pre-show for that at Cock and Bull. And I also sang at the K110 at Packers at the Park. Well, that morning they had me on the show, and I got into it with Guy in the 419 because he said the ketchup doesn't belong on a hot dog. But you know what I did? After I sang the anthem, I got my sedum glizzy and I put ketchup all over that thing. And I sent him a picture and I said, look what I got. Ketchup on my hot dog.
I agree with you.
Thank you. See, somebody gets it.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
a mustard fan. There's a story behind it.
I will eat a hot dog with mustard, onion, relish, all that on it. But I love ketchup on a hot dog.
Ketchup definitely belongs on a hot dog.
I'm a big Rudy's girl too. Chili cheese dog.
Rudy's,
shout
I
Chili
forgot
cheese
about that.
fries.
Rudy's is
That is
absolute
good.
bomb.
Can we get
Shout out
Rudy's
to
for dinner?
Rudy's.
I need to go to
perfect.
Rudy's soon.
Shout out to Rudy's.
Well, Coach, close us out.
I don't have much to say other than thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for coming on. We'll do our part to kind of see what we can work on in the future. And I want to come out and see you guys do a show. And to the people listening, make sure you go check out her website. She's got merch. You can listen to her single right there and everything. So make sure you go check out her page.
Oh yeah, I will be for the Monroe people tuning in. I will be at the Sandbar on August 4th, right?
August 4th at
yep,
the
Sandbar.
Yep, we got a lot of people in our city who love
Yeah.
the Sandbar. So
Yep. Catch me there.
Yeah, well, that might be dead week too. So I think it's on a Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
Shoot, Sundays are
You
open
gotta
for
do a
coaches,
Sunday fun day with Andy Joe.
We'll have to come check that one out and
Yeah,
see what's going
for
on
sure.
before that. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys. I guess we got one more, so we'll see you guys next week.
See you.
Brought to you by BrainJerk.